Welcome back to Factorio Seablock TSM. I believe we're up to episode 22, but don't quote me on it. Okay. Our poor, long-suffering factory. I came up here to remind myself what I've done since we last looked at things. I'm trying to get the landfill to build up as much as possible. Which has involved a few things. We've done a bit of a bypass on the slag coming out of our smelting area because all the slag was beginning to back up. Just sending down the line here wasn't enough. So that's making stone, which is feeding up here, but also I've put a wonky Bob's inserter between the stone and the sand, or landfill. What do they call it? Sand. There's two different sands in this game, but never mind. So the landfill for sand, the sand landfill, just so, you know, none is just, the potential of this is not wasted. We're getting all the full potential and building as much as possible, because it takes quite a lot to build much area, and we need to expand a lot. If you look at iron, even with this smelter, which actually I've just disabled the supply of the silicon, as you can see. Oh, that's actually going to stop everything, isn't it? Maybe I need to re-enable it until we're actually ready. Because what we're going to do is I have brought the nitrogen up from down below instead of just burning it off. There's not very much nitrogen in there though. As you can see, I got rid of the flare stack. This is in one of our plastic processes. We have this air filter that is split up here into oxygen and nitrogen, and takes compressed air in, splits up nitrogen and oxygen. That goes in to make sulfur dioxide to make, is that sulfur dioxide? Yes, sulfur dioxide to make sulfuric acid locally, and that process is what we use for one side of the sort of biotech plastic. Actually, both are biotech plastics, but we've got two processes. We actually have a good supply of plastic down there. It looks good to me for now. But what I wanted to do in this episode is we want to keep moving towards these guys, right? And to get to these guys, we need the transistors. These guys, we also need them in the electronic circuit board. I'm a little confused as to why Seablock has both these Bob circuits and green and red. Yeah. But it does, so we'll live with it. I don't mind having the standard games boards, but they're a little bit more complicated to build. But anyway, we need to make these. We need to make the transistors. So to make the transistors, we need plastic bars, which we are making down below, so that's fine. We also need tin copper wire. We can do that quite easily, so that's fine. We need silicon wafers. So I was up here looking at silicon wafer recipes. There's the silicon wafer. It's made from monosilicon. Monosilicon is made from molten silicon and monosilicon seed in a casting machine. Monosilicon seed, this is where the nitrogen comes in, is made from molten silicon and in a casting machine, and it makes 5 monosilicon seed. So we basically need to make molten silicon and have 2 casting machines, which is why I had stopped this, and I'm going to stop it again because I want to use the silicon more advantageously than just shoving it off to iron, although that's going to cause problems with iron. So we need an induction furnace to get molten silicon. I think that's the one, right? Induction furnace, nothing's flashing, so we don't have one. And we need casting machines, nothing's flashing, so we don't have one. I need to steal from our very sparse iron supply to make this happen. As you can see, most of the iron is very sparse. It's not replenishing at a rate that would make me happy. But it is what it is. So the casting machine Mark 1, we need 2 of them. That's just 1 now. We're short on steel. Let's get steel from up here, which is also going to hurt our iron supply. Then we can make a second casting machine. What's that? That's the induction furnace casting machine. We won't make the Mark 2s at this point. So, this lends itself to an induction machine, which I guess can go about here. Let's get the source. Actually, we can actually push you up 1, which is probably worth doing. So let's do that. You're going to make molten silicon. That's that one. We need some inserters, which are still not in my very limited mall. So there we go. Excellent. We're now making molten silicon. Now, we are going to have a casting machine. I'll put it there, and I will put another one here. Now, the first one... Actually, should it be the first? Maybe the bottom one would make more sense. If we had the monosilicon made there, I can put the nitrogen feed in at the bottom. That would be easiest, actually. Off the side, the nitrogen feed comes in there. And this one can be the monosilicon, which is the actual output that we need to make the silicon wafer. And the silicon wafer, we get 6. So what I think I'll do is I will put the monosilicon on the belt, and we'll make the silicon wafer locally. And we will get some pipe. Looks like we're going to use stone pipe for this. We may even go back to using stone pipe, and we need another inserter, of course. And we need some power. Also, of course, and we need another belt. And 2 more inserters. This is just so we cover both sides of the belt. You can be dropped near. How are we going? You don't have very much. You need 24. Hopefully we'll get there fairly soon. But we might be flooded. No, I don't think so. 23, there we go, 24. That's feeding into the induction furnace. That is full with 80. How much do you need? Oh, you need the nitrogen, of course. You need the nitrogen, right. So, that's where we get to this guy. It might be easiest just to come directly underneath here. Like so. We need more belt again. We need more underground. And yeah, I might make some stone. Because we have a bit of it. Let me make a smaller... A 2 by... Is that a 2 or is that a 3? That's a 2. So we need to work out where this intersects. That's going to be impossible. We'll just have to guess. Really need it up there, but never mind. How did we do? Close. I was trying to do this careful thing just to save a little bit of landfill since we're in such short supply, but I guess it's not really going to work that way. Need to jump over and put a little bit of landfill just in there. There we go. So now we can make these monosilicons, and we're getting our first, what are these guys? Those are the monosilicons, those are the silicon seeds. Right, we're getting our first items made. Where do I need to put this? I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is full. So it would actually be here. So I might have to move this whole thing over. Damn it. I was watching where I was heading, not where I was going. Oh, now the iron is abysmal. Worse than abysmal. Okay, so if we're coming down, whoops, if we're coming down here, can you get there? Not quite. But you could if there was a gap in here. Okay. That is our monosilicon. Do we have any more transport belt? We do, actually. There you go. The joys of having a somewhat incapacitated but not completely useless mall. And that will be all we need to be able to make the transistors in due course, which will enable us to, well, it's the next step, right? So, we now need the ability to make phenolic board, which needs wooden board and resin. Do we get any of these from any of those? Well, we certainly can get wooden board from paper. But what about the resin? Resin can come from liquid resin, which looks annoying. Is there another way? There used to be another way, I'm pretty sure. You have a resin? Resin anywhere along here? I think we might have to go back to the annoying way, guys. Alright, let's check in here. I thought you could make it directly from wood. Resin. Liquid resin is one option. Wood is another option, but you need the temperate tree arboretum. Temperate tree arboretum. Okay, where's that? Desert tree, swamp tree. Temperate tree arboretum. 50. Temperate tree seed. Temperate tree cultivation. Raw bio resin. Resin and ethanol. And another resin. Temperate tree. Do I actually have any temperate tree items? I have a desert tree. I don't think I do, so I suspect that's a dead end path. And we need 50 of those sciences when... where are they? They're up here, aren't they? We need 50 of those sciences when we probably... Well, we definitely don't have it there. I could... alien plant life sample, desert garden. We get 32 more. I still think that would have us slightly short. We'd need another desert tree sample. What's this? That's a desert garden. Is that this desert garden? No, that's a desert garden. So if I ran over there, I could probably get one, or maybe up there. This is completely out of our way, but I could step over and get one more desert garden just so that we could do this tech, just so that we have an option to explore. How's this going? 700, that's not bad. We may be able to do something a little bit more soon. Okay, what I want to do is reduce this down. Oops. Like so. Ooh, we have 2 desert gardens and we have a Zello squash. Huh. Okay. This might be the completely wrong direction to go, but we are going to try it. There are other options. So, alien plant life sample from our 2 alien plant lives that we have. This is very slow, as we know. While that's happening, it's going to spur a little bit of action around here as well, but that's fine. While that's happening, we need to add to our tech tree not that one, the temperate tree arboretum. I suspect we're going to run into some issues that I don't know about just yet. But if that gives us an easier way to make one of the ingredients we need, I'm all for it. We'll find out soon. More on that in a bit. Okay, coming back, not to tech, to FNEI. So that would be my favourite resin. Let's go back to the science. It's science. It's not the science we're after. It's robots we're after. Robots. That's some of the robot stuff. Combat, no. Although we should probably look at those things soon. There it is. It's under this one. Logistics. Okay, well that does make some sense that it's under logistics. Okay, so that's the first 3 items, I think. The other items look fine. So then we're looking at batteries and electric engines. Okay. Battery. That looks quite straightforward for us, actually. Plastic bar and sulfuric acid. and lead. Okay. Let's give ourselves a little bit more room. Okay. I need more of this stuff, but for now, I want to make batteries. Right. The batteries are made in chemical plants. Plastic bar, lead plate, sulfuric acid. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first of all, is we want to get more landfill. It's up here, isn't it? What's it up to now? 800. See, it really takes a long while for this landfill to pick up. One iron plate. I might even be causing a problem with the tin creation, because this guy doesn't have any nitrogen, I'm guessing, so he can't make any of these. This guy's full, this guy is full, this one is trying to get rid of stuff. We need to do that. We need it for the iron as well, to stop the backlog on the tin. We need it for this iron process to carry on. Let's run down the belts for a little bit of extra speed. Okay, so batteries. Plastic bar, lead plate. Okay, plastic bar. Let's put plastic bar on the bus. I'd love to have loaders, but I actually don't think there are loaders in this mod pack anymore. I think I duped myself. Two inserters. So this one needs to pick up from there and offset there. Right. 2K. We actually have quite a lot. Let's run our belt up to here, use one of our yellow undergrounds to get through there, and another to get through there. We need to fill in not that much space, but a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of space. Just there. And we now have plastic on the bus. We also have only 6 transport belts in all that time. Whoops. And that's it. We're out of transport belt. Right. In that case, we're going to have to grab some iron and build it ourselves. I did pick up all of the transport belts that had been built at the beginning of the show. So that's one of the reasons why there's so little. But even with this one running, you can see that iron is really struggling to keep up. I don't like that at all. I usually like to have absolutely chocker packed lines, but you have to make do. Now, batteries. What sort of volume do we get out of the battery recipe? Battery. 4 seconds, 1 battery. That doesn't seem like very much, does it? And the... I would get a battery a second if we had 2 chem plants. Maybe that's sufficient. So let's build those chem plants. No, we need petrochem. Chem plants, 1, 2. I guess we would probably want them something like this. 1, 2, if you're making battery. We need some sulfuric acid. You've got that sulfur dioxide gas. You've got sulfuric acid. Plenty. I need more pipes. Let's just run it down here. How many ingredients do you take? Plastic bar, lead plate. I can probably make a combined belt of plastic bar and lead plate. It means I need lead to extend all the way down there, which is going to be trying given the lack of iron. That's it, we're out of lead again. We need more iron. No science for you. Until I get some more belt. Okay, so the belt needs to come through about to there. And ideally, we would have a situation where you are going on a belt and there's a piece of belt that's coming up through here. Put you on just one side of the belt. And this one as let's just give ourselves a little bit more breathing room here. We will need a yellow to go across there and change direction. Plastic, I'm pretty sure we're going to use in other places, so we'll do that. What's happening with this? Oh, we still haven't got to our tree. Okay, that's all right. So our acid could go through there. And be supplied like so. And we need some inserters. We need some power. And we need somewhere to put the batteries as they come out. You can be near. There we go, we've got batteries. Okay, how are we doing? We're doing good. E. Next on our list of requirements, it's logistics, right? Yes. Okay, we've got batteries. We are going to need electric engines. Okay, where are electric engines? They're normally there. There they are. Electric engines, this is where we're going to need some lubricant. I'm quite happy with that because I'd like to burn up some of the lubricant. It will help the factory in other ways. And we're going to need normal engines, which is going to need a lot of iron plus some steel. I think that means it's time to also get steel on the belt, on the bus. Which means we're now going to have to extend. Up to wherever it is we make the steel, which is way up there. And you can see the problem already. We need to move all of this over. Over or down. Out of the way one way or another. Yes. And how are we going to get steel out of there? We actually need a proper smelting machine like this to make steel. That would be a lot better. Oh, nitrogen is full now. That could be a problem too. We're going to need an overflow valve on the nitrogen. Where's a nitrogen manufactured? It's here, isn't it? Okay. I think I have an overflow valve here. That's inline overflow valve. If the input side is above 80%, we want to go this way, and then we'll go into a flare stack. We have to be able to control the amount of nitrogen in the system. So we need that back in place. Now, let me just have a sip of my water. We seem to be overdoing the plastic. I might even want to turn this off. I mean, we really are going to come back to the shortage we have here very soon, aren't we? Another 290. So practically, what can we do to boost iron? The amount that goes in here is close but not fast enough to max out the sorter. So we should try and max out the sorter first of all. We can make ourselves space by moving all of this and turning this into more material for our sorter. It's a temporary kind of measure, but we certainly can do it. It doesn't even look like it's fully employed at the moment. But we would need another one of these and another one of these for that to happen, really. We could probably move this hydrogen processing as well. That's kind of in the way now. I've made some space down here. We could probably do hydrogen processing down here instead of up there. And maybe we could fairly easily divert some of this slag to making more. You are unable to get rid of your hydrogen, is that right? Maybe that's another reason to have the hydrogen. Alright, let's temporarily fix this. That's much better. Now, so we have this line, we have all of this guy. The hydrogen processing needs a bit of space. How much space do you actually need? Let's make a quick blueprint of that. It's basically this much space, right? It could even be placed somewhere like there. Or anywhere that the flow of these guys is, we could have as the hydrogen process. So let's do that. Let's move the hydrogen. Let's do this. I need to borrow the belt. I'm so low on everything. Incidentally, the power is doing absolutely fine. I haven't added any more power capacity. We probably will need to in the not too distant future, but at the moment it's just all doing fine. Okay. Now, where was that? There it is. Okay, so if it was here, we would need to get carbon into this line. We'd probably end up doing these pipes a little bit differently. This needs to be, I think it's carbon, right? Charcoal. That needs to be charcoal. We could get charcoal from here fairly easily. Let's see if we have any more materials built in our mall. Yes, we have 38 of those, and we have 40 of those. That's pretty handy. Do we need any more? Not really, but let's just leave it at that. That saves me quite a lot of mucking around. Where are we with our charcoal build? It's up there. Okay. So let's jump over there. That gets our charcoal in place. Now, it's interesting you're on a funny angle. We need more pipe. We have 18. Okay, hydrogen. Well, you know what? Now that we've linked up the hydrogen, there's no reason why we can't go this way. Now suddenly we have the hydrogen here. I think at this point it's time to rip up this arrangement. We may as well rip up all of this as well. And rip up all of this. We need the belt, as you no doubt must have realised, for more important things. Okay, so now we should have 3 chemical plants. Oh, these are Mark II versions as well. And we have charcoal need, and we have output. And power. Power there. Power there. We're back in action. We've made some space around here. Is it enough to set up another one of these guys? We can certainly put a crystallizer here. Let's just... I don't have one, so let's find... Oh, those are filtration units, not crystallizers. Filtration unit. Crystallizer, filtration unit. Okay, so we can make the filtration unit, which can go here. Ah, we've got the tree arboretum. We need some more things in here. I'm just going to pick up standard green science until we again find something that we feel that we need. No particular order. And back into it. Now, we want a liquefier. Do I have one? Yes, I do. Liquefier can go here. We're already halfway there. We have one inserter. We're going to need a few more, so let's do that. I think I'm going to need some more of the filter frames, so let's see if I can make some. Just to make sure this doesn't run out. You have filter frames, good. Now you need your slag slurry, and you need your purified water. We need some power up here. We also need a recipe. You also need some sulfuric acid. And we need to get some slag to you. Okay, I don't want this thing to be starved of slag. So I'm going to do something that's probably a little bit inefficient, but it will be okay. Maybe another one. We want to probably, well, yeah, we don't need to be out there, so we can come. We can come in here, and we need to be over one anyway. 2 inserters. Right. So, now we need to get this completely out of your way. I think the best way to do that is simply to come up here. Maybe I'll just pick up all of this. One, two, three. So you can actually go back one more, I believe. Yes, you can. And that is for the sulfuric wastewater. So we can now move the sulfuric wastewater out of here. And I would like another crystallizer. There's one of these. I have one. Oh, you're... I see. You're putting on up there. That's interesting. Well, we'll do something similar. Power. Of course. Now, okay, yellow through to there. Belt. Where do you drop off? You're dropping off far, so we probably want to drop off near. And now we have a fairly full belt coming down here. At least for the moment. Have we overwhelmed this guy yet? No. We could actually handle slightly more. What about this one? No. That could actually handle slightly more as well. We possibly could do... doesn't seem to have caused the slightest difference to down here. How's power? What's our production actually? I think the numbers are still going to be very lousy. 1 minute, so it doesn't jump around quite so bad. We've got like 70 plates a minute. Yeah, where is the iron plate? There it is. Jumps every so often, it goes up to about 80. It's, yeah, it's like 1 a second. It's not nearly good enough. Do we have any hold up in these? No, that's not being held up. You're definitely not being held up. That's interesting. Where's all this iron coming from? Oh, we do eventually get through it. I could put another one of these on. not entirely sure it's necessary yet. Alright. Well, I think we're at time. We have done some decent achievement, more than I expected. We still haven't really fixed iron. We need to go a lot further than what we've done. I am kind of hoping that we'll get enough landfill to do something more meaningful. I mean, we can't just keep spreading these across. I'd rather sort of get some sort of verticality going. Push the whole thing back, get some verticality going. It still doesn't look like we've really tapped this to the extent that we could. Probably because, yeah, we need another one of these tapping it. Not sure how we're going to fit that in. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this episode. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.